Welcome, acolytes. Today I am reacting to Is Luigi Mangione even the right guy? And it's from a YouTuber that I actually don't know, Mace the Snapper. A new one, don't know him, never heard of him. The only thing, thank you to Agent of Social Media Chaos for proposing me this video, because he actually said that the guy has some interesting point to spew. So I am quite interested in this situation. If you don't know the situation that this person is in, he basically, well, this video won't get spread. He shot a guy to unlife, and I don't mean the good kind of unlife, like I would do with your if I get your soul and just can use it acolyte as I plead, mostly for farming. But hey, who knows what this is about, or what, when. And wizowy salb warum? Kto się nie pyta, zostaje. Yeah. But as it is, let's just start and see what the Snapper has to say about it. And by the way, before I actually start, you may hear some clingy noises because I am eating and I have no shit for time. So let's start.
Hey, what's up, dudes? It's Mac the Snapper, climbing up out of my little mud puddle once again to bring you another video. This one is a little bit different today from what my normal random content is.
Okay.
But I just want to say, this guy right here, he is 100% a Fed. I mean, think about it. Like, so it just doesn't make any sense.
I'm gonna be honest, this start I really have to hear some really good arguments, because the things that I heard about the guy, that he had pain back, that he was partially radicalized, this sounds quite okay to me. Now, of course, I don't have the full story. And before you say, hey, what the F, is he for it or against him, I don't like the way he handled the situation. And don't boo me out, acolytes, because you know here I am not the nicest person. Because do I give a fuck that he actually killed a rich guy? Not really. The guy was responsible for a lot of bad things, or a lot of bad things to happen to other people. But I don't think the vigilante things like that should be okay. Because there is just a snap of a finger when somebody could say, hey, I don't like your opinion and I think you may be ended for it. So it is what it is. And yes, you can argue against it or for it as you wish. I'm gonna engage in it if you so wish. But I just think that, to make it simple, I don't give a fuck about the dead person, or that's gonna be a bit too aggressive. Because it's still a loss of a life. But I don't care, because he actually built his empire on basically also corpses. So I don't care, but I really think that the way he went in was not the correct way, because it just... Well, just... There are some extremist views that could go wrong.
Like, why would a dude do something like what he did? I'm trying to be a little bit censored just for the first... I mean, it's been 30 seconds, but anyway. Why would a guy do what he did and then still be found with the weapon? Like, if it was me, and I would never do something like that, but...
I just don't think he planned on getting caught. Especially at a McDonald's.
I would smelt all of it. Like, this here, like the arm and the barrel device would no longer exist 5 minutes after it happened.
I mean, I don't know your story. I don't know what you did or what you didn't. But this guy did never, ever offed someone at any point. And if you see death this directly, the first time, especially if you caused it yourself, you don't think rationally. You just don't. There is no chance in hell.
So the fact that he was found 6 days after the fact, with the firearm and suppressor still both on his person, he also had a manifesto immediately red flagged Fed. Like, because think about it, every single time there's a shooting, what is the thing that happens? Okay, the two things that happen is the Feds knew of them, or they had a manifesto. It's just, how can people still be thinking that this, for one, even, I mean, he might be the guy in question, the one who did it, but
I'm gonna counter-argue that because this guy was active on social media and he wanted eyes on himself. So, yeah, and a manifesto from someone who does this stuff and does it for attention isn't that irrational. No, it's irrational. It's still irrational, but it happens.
if he is, then he's also a Fed. Like, how, like, it might not be him. It might just be a plant that they're using to make themselves relevant because the FBI is irrelevant. If the FBI didn't stage things, they'd have nothing to do. And it just, how...
Brother, sorry about it, but you're arguing from a point of irrational thinking. You literally cannot say, or you can say it, but it makes no sense that the Feds would stage every single thing they are doing. That's just not how it works, mate. I'm actually quite disgusted by myself right now because I don't want to defend the Feds, but I also think that a really extreme point of view, and I don't mean extreme and extremist, I mean extreme in a that it just goes so far on one side. That's just not sitting well with me personally.
How can people not be putting that together? Like, there's people on the internet saying that this is 100% the guy. Like they got him, you know.
Hey, yeah, that's the internet.
Hoorah for the FBI and the Popo. But I'm just saying, like, there's too many red flags. It's just not adding up. Like, he still had the gun. He had multiple IDs on him. It's like, how bad can you be at that? I mean, I am just a normal dude with a 6 to 5 job. Like,
I mean, to know that he actually came from a relatively wealthy family, so money wasn't the problem. But I think that the back pain he felt, or was it the back? It could be that I remember miscorrectly, but that's irrelevant. Let's just say any kind of pain to the degree that he had, you feel, this can make you very irrational.
How can you be this bad? I mean, the fact that he made it 6 days is just insane.
No, that happens more often than you think.
Terrible at this.
Yeah.
Like, he should have got, like, why did he still have it all on? The fact that he still had it all on him, that much, like, just damning evidence. Like, I think it's down here. But yeah, this is a 3D printed gun. So this, if you look at it, you can see the texture of it. This frame is not a Glock frame.
Oh, okay. Actually, thank you for this one, Snapper. Because I didn't... Or I heard it, but I didn't realize it per se. If I find a sharper photo of this, I can actually learn something how to differentiate 3D printer from real things. Thank you.
This slide is a Glock slide, 19 slide. Barrel is a trigger's a Glock trigger. But this is a 3D gun. So the ATF's got to have something to do with this. Because for one, you cannot possess a suppressor in the state of New York. So the fact that the ATF aren't all the fuck over this is kind of mind-boggling.
Okay.
Like if it was someone like me who did anything with a suppressor, because I personally own legal suppressors, so I know the laws behind them and how fucking retarded all the laws around them are. There's no hand.
Oh. Okay. We have a point where we actually agree on something. The laws for this shit is retarded. I agree with you 100%, mate.
No firing pin, no barrel, no rifling, but yet there's still a firearm that you have to fill out a 4473 to take possession of, which just makes no fucking sense. There's no logic to it. I'm not even going to get into the NFA. I'll just go on a hardcore, like, I'll get canceled. The people that staged this shooting are going to show up at my door next. Okay, so that's the possession of the suppressor is the first felony. The pistol alone by itself is a felony in New York to own without the proper permitting. And I don't live in New York. I just know the law, so I never go there.
But you're arguing from a point of view where everything illegal will be seen, or that the feds already know something about it. Or at least this is what I am hearing right now. And just because somebody does something illegal doesn't mean that it's already known. You can hide this stuff, and I mean this gun isn't that big. Or it doesn't look that big. You can easily hide it, I would say. Like, you can conceal it easily. So, a bit far-reaching.
This looks like a standard capacity magazine, which is also anything more than, I think, it might be 5 rounds now, but it was 10 when I last checked. 10 rounds in New York is a felony, I believe. I believe it's a felony. Don't quote me on that. I didn't Google it. That's just from what I remember from reading about it back when I was studying the law. And yeah, so like you have multiple felonies with a firearm here, and yet I haven't heard anything about the ATF being involved. I could be wrong. I mean, I could search it right now. Actually, I might actually do that real fast here.
I mean, we're talking about a murder. This is relatively, well, irrelevant if you think that a life was lost.
Not seeing anything from the ATF. ATF and NY. Okay, so they might. Retired ATF executive explains how New York City subway shooting could have been much worse. Okay, I don't know how. I mean, the only thing that it proves is that gun laws do not, in fact, work at all. That was actually from what I just read was actually from 2022. So that I don't think that they have had anything to say about what happened, which is crazy because they're going to try to use this to outright ban 3D printed frames, and because they already tried that, so we know it's on their hit list. Proper word to use. And then also he used a homemade suppressor because and I actually said I didn't make a video, so I can't prove it, but I did say that it was a Glock 19 that he had used just from the video because I own multiple of them. I know how they function. I know how they work. I know how they work with a direct thread suppressor because I own multiple suppressors legally, I must add. And I know how they function when don't have the Nielsen device or / booster, because it's like a spring-loaded like piston that allows, because you see how this barrel like rocks upward just slightly, that disengages the chamber square. I don't really know. I'm just trying to explain it to where anyone can understand.
Yeah.
But there's like the block that houses the casing itself, and that has to drop down like 4 millimeters. No, I say about 2.5 to 3 millimeters. Has to drop down, so that weight being transferred, or that movement downward on the back of the barrel to the front of the barrel goes up. And that much weight sticking out. Hold on. Yeah, so that much weight sticking out on the end of the barrel is too much for the barrel to unlock. So it needs to have, it's a spring load so the barrel can go back slightly and drop down while the suppressor just stays in its where it is, and then the internal piston is the only part that would just move ever so slightly to allow the barrel to unlock and then drop and then fall and then slide.
I mean, I won't disagree with you because I don't know that much about like not this specifically that you say, but isn't there a possibility that it could still work, that you could, I don't know, like manipulate it in a way where it would still work? Because I mean, some cars are drosseled to, let's just say, 100, but if you build something in, then it goes faster. You know, something like that. I don't know. It's just something that I would say that is realistic to me personally, that you could manipulate it.
Up. So, but I don't know where I was going with that. But anyway, the fact that he made a homemade suppressor, that is actually also another felony, which would fall under the NFA. So it's an NFA item. Gay, I know. An NFA item that was homemade without a Form 1, and it was not purchased, so it did not have a Form 4. No $200 tax stamp, extortion tax, unlawful, of course. I mean, I keep throwing in qualifiers because I fucking hate the NFA. It's just the dumbest fucking thing because the NFA was made to ban pistols, but then they found out that that was just unpopular. So then they changed it, took pistols off, but then you can have an AR pistol with no stock, and then if you put a stock on it, it becomes more concealable, so that's why the SBRs are on the NFA. It fucking doesn't make any goddamn sense.
You know what? I agree with you on 100%. And there are people in the NFA that have exactly zero knowledge about guns. Exactly zero. And they are there and just taking their money for doing nothing, not expanding their knowledge, doing jack shit to actually do some proper research and do smart, good things with it. They just don't give a fuck. They just getting money for doing absolutely nothing and making every gun owner's life more miserable for no fucking reason.
At all. It's so, oh my, it is so fucking, you have to do so much mental gymnastics to think that the NFA is even slightly logical. It's just so dumb. And the fact that no one's ever been charged with the possession of an SBR by itself as a single charge, it just goes to prove that if the ATF catches you with an SBR and you haven't committed any other crime, they will just try to settle in court because they know if they take it to the court, you can abolish the NFA because you can go and argue with how fucking stupid it is. Okay, I'm just gonna stop. So yeah, and then he had a manifesto on him, 4 fake IDs. Like what person in their right mind after unaliving somebody would not just ditch everything they had on them, change their clothes? The fact that I think he was still wearing the same hoodie or something, I can't remember exactly, but like the fact that he could do it so good, like I mean the fact he had practice on the weapon that he built. He did know that it was going to malfunction. He did know that it wasn't going to cycle because of the lack of Nielsen device in his homemade suppressor. But why did he still fucking have it on him?
The thing is, you're talking about a very irrational person. Don't think rationally with a person that actually thinks irrationally. No.
That doesn't make any logical. I mean, if he's a leftist, of course I could see that why he wouldn't understand that. Oh, I still have the fucking super illegal firearm and suppressor that I made, and am in a. I mean, they caught him in Pennsylvania, but the fact that he was in New York with it and didn't just destroy it immediately.
By the way, before he actually continues, most leftist people that I know or that I've seen, especially on the internet, that are on the more extreme side think that doing illegal stuff is fine as long as it hurts the correct person. That's what he's referring to. And that's why I agreed with him. Because sadly, as it is, yep, that happens a lot. It happens a really, really amusingly high amount of times. Because a lot of the times they fail. So.
It's just wild. Like, has he never watched a movie ever? Oh, it doesn't make any fucking sense.
Oh, come on, don't compare it to a movie. Most movies don't make sense anyway. Especially sword fights.
And then the 4 faked IDs. That's another thing. Is like, why did he have 4? I mean, I understand. He's 26. Why does he need fake IDs at all? Normally kids like 19-year-olds will have fake IDs, but not a 26-year-old. He has no reason for a fake ID unless he wants to get caught doing something illegal. Yeah. So I just don't understand it for real. And another thing, like, so leftists are trying to ban guns, but now they're praising this guy for using a super illegal, like the most illegal type of firearm you can have, in a state where they're totally banned. Like, you need a special license to even own a semi-auto pistol. And he had like the quadfecta, illegal homemade suppressor, homemade frame, semi-auto, quote-unquote high-capacity magazine. Those are all banned in New York State.
Yeah.
In New York City as a whole. Like, it's crazy. Like, in New York City itself. Like, that single firearm was like 5 felonies. Unjustly so. They should all be legal. But I'm just saying, like... And then the whole left is praising this guy.
Yep. By the way, I say it again. Just because something's illegal doesn't mean that every police officer knows that you have it. You can do shady stuff without anybody knowing, acolytes. That's not saying that they're actually... that I endorse you to do that. And yes, that the leftists are endorsing it, of course. They are like, come on. I just explained it. Hypocritical SF. No, not even rationalizing it. Yes, you're correct about the leftist thing. It that just doesn't make sense, but... Well, it makes sense in their view. Because they think, if I do something that's very, very bad, and as long as it hits the correct person, it's irrelevant. It's fine.
They're praising this guy for using something that they're trying to ban. But since, I guess, that's the thing about the left. They are 100% pro-gun as long as they're the only ones that use them, and as long as that firearm is only used to kill someone they hate.
Yep.
It is mind-boggling.
Yep.
And I know I snapped a little bit in this.
A little bit?
I might. It's just wild. I just find...
Wait, he didn't snicker to his own joke? No, he probably didn't realize it. Mace the Snapper snapped. I mean, it's not a good joke, but fuck me. It's fine. Okay, I find it funny.
Scale of 1 to even, I can't even. So this is apparently him in the back of the car. And what's crazy is that, like, this dude, the only reason they knew what he looked like is because he was flirting with a chick.
I mean, hey, if you have a chance, go for it. I just realized I could have said, if you have a shot, go for it. Damn. I missed it. Okay.
It's crazy, dude. Because, I mean, I think, yeah, in that same... So there's a picture of him with his mask off, but this was him, like, right beforehand. I think that's... Does it look the same as a couch in the back? It might not be the same place, but that's... He might have changed. It just... his demeanor, like, his posture. Like, look at his posture. It's about... Like, just, like, the slope of his shoulders. Yeah. Like, see, like, the way his shoulders are? That's pretty hard to misconstrue. I'm pretty sure this is the same guy. And the fact that he fucked up this badly is just amateur hour. This dude's a Fed. This dude's 100% a Fed who needed to get caught. Because, I mean, mark my fucking words, they're going to be coming after suppressors and 3D printers now.
Yeah, they wanted to do it anyway, so... I mean, at some point, I'm gonna be honest, the little fact is... The Feds don't have to do shit. Because at some point, something like this would happen anyway. We already have someone in Germany that actually printed 3D weapons. I don't remember how the guy is actually called or was called because, well, he's no longer among us. But yeah, it was just a matter of time before someone does it. So I think the most logical thing, the easiest thing to do would be just waiting. And this is one of the reasons why I don't believe that it was a Fed. Like, this is an extra reason for that. It's... I just...
Because people can't be trusted. Because, the law didn't work once. Why not make more laws so they still don't work more? It's just... I'm so tired of this bullshit. I'm just so fed up with this crap. I just want to cry, bro. I haven't cried in 12 years now, and this mental retardation is gonna make me finally crack. It's so over, bros. It's so over. But I guess at this point, detectives are trying to determine whether Thompson was targeted because of some type of personal conflict or as a result of his work as an insurance executive. Sources said,
I'm gonna be honest, the insurance thing is more than enough to have really a bloodline of freaking enemies. Like, more than a bloodline, probably like 100 per week. So, nah.
The killer apparently had some knowledge of Thompson's schedule on Wednesday, and the fact that he would be arriving at the Hilton well before the company meeting was to begin, sources said. Police are interviewing Thompson's colleagues and family about any potential specific threats, Kenny said. So, this dude, being a wealthy man as he was, his whole schedule is going to be more or less public. It would not be hard. So, the dude looks kind of like a chipmunk.
He's correct about that.
R.I.P., but...
It won't be hard.
But still, I mean, I really don't give a shit. The fact that this is being so blown up, it was mainly because it was probably a political hit. This dude could have been... you don't know. We don't know. Well, I'm sure we'll never probably know why exactly he was tragically unalived. Who knows? We'll probably never know. Bro was going through a divorce, so it could have been his wife hired the dude, and then said make it look like it was something to do with the insurance.
Okay.
But really though. What he did was like unaliving the CEO of State Farm because Lamborghini made their cars too expensive. Like the insurance company has nothing to do with how much, or like being rejected. The real question he should have asked, or the real people he should have gone. I'm not saying he should have, but I'm saying if he was going to go after anybody, why didn't he go after the people who set the pricing? Like, that seems like a more
irrational thinking, irrational person.
Logical thing to do, rather than some dude that has nothing to do with anything. That's why I think it had nothing to do with what he did for a living, but it was personal. It had to have been personal because, and this is all alleged. Maybe. This is all just me speculating. It has nothing. None of this is fact. This is all just banter towards the end of the video when only the real ones are going to hear this because very few people stick around for 20 whole minutes. But. It's
hey, I'm one of those. Oh, nice.
If he really wanted, if he was really wronged by a medical company, why go after the insurance that has nothing to do with the prices set by the medical company?
Irrational.
That's why it doesn't make. I mean, this is typical liberal behavior. Totally emotional. No logical thinking whatsoever. I mean, this dude was it Penn State, University of Pennsylvania. you know, Ivy League graduate. Of course he's retarded. Yeah, there's no. I've honestly, the dumbest people I've ever met in my life
Oh,
were college grads, and some of the richest and smartest people I met were high school dropouts. Just think about that for a minute. And I know multiple millionaires, multiple. Yeah, and only one of them went to college for finance. But I'm not in finance. I'm in blue collar business. I think that's good enough.
blue-collared business. Ooh, my respect, my man. Blue-collared business is actually very, very hard to build. And it's relevant which one. Except maybe for sewage. Sewage is, oof. You can make a lot of money with that one.
Good enough of a rant. Hopefully this doesn't get me canceled. If not, I'll throw this up on Rumble. But anyway, I guess like I said, I'll probably take off now. And remember, boys, no matter how much money you make, no matter how rich you get, you're never too rich to eat ramen noodles because they're actually delicious.
He's correct about that. I had times where I just had to eat bread and water, literally. And then I discovered ramen noodles. It was a savior.
Stay safe, boys. Peace out.
Good, Snapper. Quite interesting, but I would say it's... He argued, but I don't think that the arguments were good enough. Let's just say made enough sense. But hey, I mean, I enjoyed the video. Still a good one. And on the things that we agree definitively. So, acolytes, as it is, good night.